Alright, we're back fighting the gun golem.
I'm Cameron.
I'm Jay. Shit, are we just in town?
We're in Old Town. I really haven't spent any time here, so it's not going to look too familiar. It's, oh fuck, I have to shoot his waist.
Well, you're not doing any damage where you're shooting now. Yeah, there it goes.
I think the waist is where he takes health damage, and everything else just fucks up an embankment of guns.
God damn, like, I gotta respect any man who can just weaponize an entire base. Like, this thing reminds me of that one Transformer that was just a city. You know that really...
Metroplex?
Yeah, that
Or
one.
Omega Supreme?
I don't know, which one was the dumb one? Fuck you, lamppost. Is it like a case of you don't remember, or is it a case of it's really splitting hairs?
It's really splitting hairs. Are you talking about the one with the big claw arm, or are you talking about the big white guy?
I'm talking about the one that was an actual city.
There's a few of them.
Oh. How can you get more mileage out of that than once?
Well, there's an Autobot one, and there's a Decepticon one.
I suppose there would have to be for the Autobot one to have a legitimate challenge at some point in his existence.
And then there was Omega Supreme, who's arguably a city.
Wait, is he the one that was like an entire fucking NASA base?
Yeah, he's the NASA base.
Again, this is one of those things where it's like, Transformers in disguise. No one would believe NASA just put a base somewhere and no one noticed.
Well, okay. I'm gonna show my Transformers stripes here.
We all know it.
Omega Supreme basically existed significantly prior to transformation being a thing. And they sort of slapdashed it onto him.
Oh, okay.
Like,
so, like, he was just always a huge guy and, like, at some point or another, he just wound up on Earth and like, dude, you really need to not be the most obvious motherfucker in the world.
Yeah, in G1, he was originally a city builder, along with Devastator.
Wait, was Devastator?
Well, before the whole Autobot Decepticon split, most of them had like legit everyday jobs.
Oh yeah, I guess that makes sense.
And they built the Crystal City together.
Hey, out of curiosity, there's something I've actually been curious about that I legitimately don't know because I don't know a lot about Transformers at all. So Optimus is a Prime, which is like, is that like a job classification or is that like a blood thing?
It depends on what series you're looking at. If you're looking at the movies, it's a blood thing.
Okay, because I was gonna say, like, my major question is, does that technically mean Megatron is also a Prime or no?
Megatron is not a Prime.
Okay.
The Primes, it's sort of a classification. It's also sort of a blood thing in that there were 13 original Primes.
Okay, so it's more of a, like, you were chosen for this. It's not like birthright, but...
Yeah, it's definitely not a birthright. Like, in most, in pretty much everything other than the movies, Optimus Prime started off as Orion Pax, who was just... Oh, fuck, that just insta-gibbed me.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Do not collect your 200, do not pass go.
Usually it knocks you down to 0 health and then you get one more hit. I guess
I
not with Bruno.
I was gonna say, maybe you got double hit.
Could be.
Good luck!
Well, yeah, let's go.
Well, how far back is it gonna knock me?
Oh, this'll be a treat.
Well,
folks, let's see if we're about to fast the fuck forward.
On the plus side, I get to talk about Transformers lore.
Not if we fast the fuck forward.
The last time I saved was in Uptown.
Well... Oh...
Let me check something.
Good.
Let me check something.
I am so glad I have a cup that's like 40% alcohol right now.
Let me check something. Let me check something, Jay.
You can't stop it, Cameron. The drinking is beginning. Well, there's no giant robot.
Well, I saved after I beat that. So,
we have that to thank.
There's a plus.
Oh, boy.
Okay, good.
Fantastic. Still gonna fast forward, though.
Okay, I'll talk about Transformers lore afterwards.
You can talk about it during, I can, like, fast forward and...
Fast forward with the lore going?
I was gonna say, yeah, fast forward the fucking visuals and keep the audio.
Okay, basically, in everything other than the movies, basically, the, Optimus Prime starts off as Orion Pax, who's just like some dude, and, later gets chosen by either, the Cybertronian Council or by fate or what have you, gets the Matrix of Leadership, embeds that in his chest, and then becomes Optimus Prime.
Okay, okay.
And yeah, it's
Alright,
what
so
happens.
he gets elected to them.
Meanwhile,
Meanwhile, Mega...
it's just there is no Decepticon equivalent of the Autobot Matrix.
Because there was only one.
Yeah, unless you're going with aligned continuity, in which case there is, believe it or not, the Sharkticon Matrix of Leadership that was created by the Quintessons.
I don't even know what the fucking Quintesson is.
Do you know what a Sharkticon is? Have you seen the 86 movie?
I have vague fever dreams of it.
Okay, do you remember that scene? You know who Hot Rod is, right?
Yeah, fucking Hot Rods. Christ, I hate him.
Why?
I don't know, I just don't like him.
Actually, most of the audiences do, simply because he wasn't Optimus Prime.
Yeah, I think that's like a 90%.
You're not Optimus!
You didn't win!
Anyway, basically the whole idea was that the Sharkticons were those dudes from when they got dumped into the pit.
Just giving myself something to fast forward stuff. Alright, so yeah, dumped in the pit. Oh, right, this thing again.
Fucking yeah, so they jumped in the pit.
Yeah, so when they got dumped into the pit...
They went fucking mad or something?
No, the Sharkticons were the things in the pit.
Oh, right.
So the guys trying to eat them.
I was gonna say, were they built on Cybertron, or were they just a race of crazy cannibalistic space bots?
Crazy cannibalistic space bots. But if you're going with G1 continuity, the Quintessons actually built all Transformers. And,
So the Quintessons are the All-Father.
essentially. And basically the only difference between Autobots and Decepticons is that the Decepticons were built as military hardware, and the Autobots were built as civilian builds.
So then Megatron isn't even like a fucking schism, it's a military coup.
It's not even really a coup. What it is
Well, I
is
guess
that,
to be a coup, it would have been successful. And fucking, for some ungodly reason, Megatron keeps Starscream around, so success is clearly not his prerogative.
well, it's basically for, like, what was called the Cybertron Golden Age, everyone lived in peace. But then the military hardware people are like, so when do we get to kill things? And the Autobots are like, never, we don't kill things, that's not happening.
So the entire thing is just Megatron got bored.
Well, what it is that the military hardware people are genetically predisposed to kill things. And they
When you will not provide them one, they will make one for themselves.
Yeah, basically.
I'm surprised at one point someone was like, you know, maybe to
Oh
keep...
fuck, did I just get wrecked?
No, maybe. I'm surprised that no one thought it was a good idea to just, build them something to kill. Then again, I guess that raises ethical issues.
Well,
When you're, like, genetically modifying a race specifically to die. Then again, it worked for the Predators. Yeah, in certain canons.
they built the aliens or something?
Yeah, they built the aliens to be the... If they didn't build the aliens, they cultivated them to be the perfect hunt. Like, you know, making nature preserves specifically so that they would always have aliens to hunt. Oh, that was a... Oh, jeez. Man, this inner city neighborhood is just getting wrecked.
Sucks to be the people who live here.
Poor people.
But yeah, as for the
Oh
question,
no, not the city park. Where now will they shoot their hoops and channel their aggression?
As for the question of whether the Sharkticons are just some weird space thing, or Transformers that went crazy, I guess that depends on what you consider a Transformer. Because on one hand, they're robots that transform that were built by the Quintessons. On the other hand, they were built significantly after the Autobots and Decepticons.
To serve what purpose?
To serve as executioners.
Oh, okay.
And also somewhat of a military force.
Hey, you know that military force we already have sitting around doing nothing and getting mad about it? Let's make more.
Well, what happened was the Cybertronians drove off the Quintessons, who were essentially selling them. And
So the fucking Cybertron was a robot rebellion.
Cybertron was a robot slave rebellion.
Christ.
What? Oh, that's some bullshit right there.
Fucking hitboxes. Okay.
So basically the military hardware people and the civilian goods people were just like, you know what? Fuck being sold into slavery.
Let's not.
Let's not.
So who are the Quintessons selling them to?
Other sentient races.
Do these other sentient races ever do anything in it, or is it mostly just...
Well, a lot of them do things, it's just the things they do aren't particularly important to the story.
Fair enough.
Oftentimes you'll see other sentient races just show up and get interacted with just as dudes. Like, they'll just show up in stories.
So is it another one of those cases where humanity is like the one race that's like left alone for some dumb reason?
No, there's a lot of races that are just left alone.
Is it like the fucking Star Trek Federation where it's like you're not allowed to interact with any race that isn't up to a certain point?
It's not that you're not allowed, it's just that generally speaking, there's no way. Because, like, all the races that are advanced enough to be able to fuck with their civilization don't really need slaves when they can just build robots.
Yeah, I suppose that makes sense. Well, then again, it didn't fucking work because the last slave bots clearly had a...
Yeah, and when the Quintessons got their, like, shit pushed in by their own slaves, and the Quintessons were, like, the biggest spacefaring empire, everyone was like, maybe slaves not so good.
Interesting. Robot death machines, not proper servants.
Well, it wasn't even just the robot death machines. Some of them were, like, the robot transportation devices. Or just, like, the robot data clerks.
This raises the important question.
Like,
why
Optimus
give them...
Prime was a data clerk before he became Optimus Prime.
This raises the important question. Why did they give them personalities and, like, aspirations? Why were they not just mindless automatons that lived to serve?
Because it was designed in the 80s, and the 80s was a time of lazy story writing. I'm not even gonna lie.
You're not even gonna lie. There's no good reason why they did that.
There's no good reason. Unless you're reading the Aligned Continuity,
God damn, this is getting convoluted. Oh, Jesus. Wow.
Oh, he's, like, stuck suspended between those. That's awesome.
Sniffing his own butt cheeks.
Okay, if you read the Aligned Continuity...
I thought for a second, Diesel was, like, sitting cross-legged, like, curse is foiled again. Huh? Like, he's just, there's gotta be a point when he's just like, maybe I should just stop while I'm ahead.
Maybe I should just stop before I'm bankrupt.
I thought he was already bankrupt, that was the problem.
Yeah,
What's your
but,
name?
Me?
if you read the Aligned Continuity,
Megaman.
the Transformers were
Megaman
actually
Bulma.
pre-existing.
Megaman, is it?
Like, they
You know,
existed
I've
as
been in
is,
this
and then the
business a
Quintessons
long
showed up,
time,
and then the
but this is the
Quintessons
first
used their
time
stupid
anyone's
powers
ever
to
given me
basically
this much
wipe
trouble.
all of their
Yet,
minds
if
of
these
having
somehow
existed
work
prior to the Quintessons,
like this,
and then
And
just...
told them they built them.
And, yeah, told them they built them and installed cockpits in them, and then started selling them as
So-
slaves.
I can
That's-
face the facts. I
So then who built them in that continuity?
Oh, in the Aligned Continuity, there are creations of Primus, who is, like, one of the original gods of the universe, along with Unicron.
My heart feels as clean as
This
the
is-
blue sky on a
What?
Primus and Unicron are the creator gods. Primus
Okay.
creates things, Unicron destroys things.
So he's not a creator god, he's just...
Yeah,
He's pretty much Galactus.
yeah. Basically, the way it works is that Primus exists in every universe as Cybertron.
Hold on, I just want to say something really quick. I just realized the baby's battle suit looks a lot like Gutsman.
Kind of.
Then, does this mean I'll never see him again?
drawn.
This is amazing. I get to play my favorite video game while talking about my favorite fandom.
I can pretty much see your boner. It's
You didn't
unbelievable.
just walk away, did you?
Oh, good. He's doing something evil and pointless. I love this guy.
Of course not. Now that's the Teasel I know.
That's basically
You
Teasel.
bet it is.
Pointlessly
Old
evil.
Teasel never gives
Now
up.
back to being ambiguously evil. And Mega Man's like, I'm right here. Right here, guys. Like, at what point does Mega Man be like, I'm just gonna take your arm so you will stop? Then again, I maintain, like, it's been made repeatedly clear, Diesel is probably able to fuck Mega Man up with his own two hands, and for whatever reason, he's just choosing not to.
I need to heal up.
I bet it's a Frieza thing, where Diesel's just not fighting you with his own two hands to make it more interesting.
Could be. Okay,
I'm only using 1% of my power! And then there's like, what do you have to gain from that? Shut up! And he slaps a couple of the slave bots.
kill their families.
Burn the island! Just all of it.
Oh wait, I think I actually have to clear a thing now.
Oh boy. Okay. So to recap, in all but one universe, a bunch of space assholes built a bunch of robots and then got their shit slapped. Except in one universe, where they wipe the minds of these robots and decide not to use this technology a second time to wipe their minds in the middle of the rebellion.
Oh, well, they couldn't. That was the first thing they got rid of.
Actually,
Basically,
that
step one of the rebellion was, let's get rid of this mind-wipey business.
Okay, you know what? Fair enough. That seems like an excellent place to start. To be perfectly...
Step 1, break chains. Step 2, break mind wiping deal.
Step 3, break everything else. So then, after the rebellion, why was Megatron still evil in this universe? Is it just was he just born with a heart full of neutrality?
No, Megatron wasn't born here. In the Aligned continuity, as it turns out, the Cybertronians are just natively shits. And
so the Autobots are like a small minority who aren't assholes?
No. Like, before the schism happens in the Aligned universe, basically life on Cybertron is super fucking oppressive, and, like, no one wants to live there. And Megatron is a slave in a gladiator pit in Kaon, which is a city on Cybertron. And basically, while he's there, he's like, you know what?
This is a raw deal?
This is a raw deal. I want to not be a slave. And just by virtue of not knowing anything other than killing things, he determines that the best way to not be a slave is to kill things.
Okay, makes sense.
And, like, to this point, I am with him.
So wait, hold on. If I understand correctly, he's not technically evil, he's just doing the only thing he was created to do.
Well, he wasn't created to do that, it's just that he was, he was born as any Cybertronian is, and, just immediately thrown into a pit.
I was gonna say, I'm not entirely sure born is the correct word here. Then again, I don't know enough about Transformers to say it isn't either.
Born isn't really the correct word, I'm just simplifying for the benefit of you and anyone else who's watching this to learn about Transformers.
I'm gonna name this episode just to learn about Transformers.
Cam talks about Transformers.
In other words, anyone who knows Cameron calls this episode business as usual.
No, yeah, pretty much.
Okay,
and
so then Megatron isn't doing anything wrong. He's actually slapping the shit of an oppressive race. So that means that Optimus is kind of a bad guy for allowing that shit to happen.
No, because Optimus is like a data clerk. And he basically has no idea about anything outside of the data clerking that he does. But eventually he stumbles across, like, on the Cybertronian internet, this whole, like, Megatron is, like, super against all this shit and is gathering people. And Orion Pax, because he's not Optimus Prime yet, is just like, you know what? This guy has a point. Freedom is the right of all sentient beings. And so they join up.
I was gonna say, I agree with his freedom policy, but I'm not sure if I 100% agree with his kill everything policy.
Well, at this point, it wasn't so much a kill everything policy as it was, let's free the slaves.
By killing.
Yeah, killing was a means to an end. And, basically, what winds up happening is Megatron stages a very small-scale rebellion.
Okie dokie.
And, this winds up going to a hearing, at the actual Cybertronian, like, parliament. And, at this point, Optimus is Megatron's second-in-command. And, basically, Megatron, like, seriously trusts this guy, because he's been, like, coordinating this whole rebellion deal, because he's a very, very good, skilled data clerk. And,
I suppose that's a pretty good way to... okay.
And, basically, this whole thing happens where, basically, like, Megatron's rebellion was small, but it has a shit ton of support just across Cybertron. Like, yeah, slavery's bad, let's get rid of this. Remember that time we were slaves before?
Didn't work out then either.
Yeah, and basically the Cybertronian Parliament figures that everyone hates them, and they have to dissolve. So they're like, well,
I
shit.
really wish normal parliaments would do that.
Yeah.
Fuck if we don't have a hard time getting rid of shit politicians in real life.
Yeah, they realize of their own volition that they have to dissolve, right?
Huh?
But that would leave Cybertron without any system of government, and that would be bad.
So they invent the Prime system?
No, they bring back the Prime system.
Okay.
Because they figure, like, this Optimus guy is really on the level. Perhaps we should trust him with governance of the planet.
And I'm assuming Megatron just throws a hissy fit because
There.
why am I not in
This should be
charge?
the
Yeah,
last key.
Megatron throws a hissy fit because Optimus wants to like spare everyone's life and just ignore everything bad that's happened and just like.
And I'm assuming
And
Megatron is not
Megatron's like,
satisfied.
no, prison for everybody. Prison and death camps.
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure Megatron probably doesn't want the people who enslaved him to just walk away.
Yeah.
Which, on the level, is actually kind of reasonable.
Yeah, but instead of dealing with the problem like a...
That dog is not a fan.
Yeah, no, he's not. But instead of dealing with the problem, he proceeds to initiate a plan of terrorist bombing.
Jesus Christ, that dog. Alright. So, what does he blow up? Other Transform? Does he just stick bombs at the tailpipes of fellow Transformers?
He just starts blowing up buildings all over the place.
Oh, okay.
And Optimus is like in
That's
charge of shit now. And he's just like, no, we need these buildings. Like, even if I agreed with you, we need these buildings.
Jesus Christ.
And this, like, escalates into the war. Where people are like, yeah, fucking destroy everything. And people are like, maybe we shouldn't.
So is there ever any continuity that explains why Megatron tolerates Starscream speaking blatantly into his face about trying to usurp him?
Oh shit, maybe I should save.
Yeah, probably. Also, see you next time, folks.
Bye, everybody.